Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. What do we got today, Rick?
We got our Week 16 news and injury show.
Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. Here's your host, Morgan Colby and Rick Lemon.
What's poppin'? I was cradling my microphone like it was a baby.
I don't know why you're doing that.
And Rick just looked at me. He looked at me like I was like violating his brain mentally.
Because you were. You honestly were.
All right. Merry Christmas, my friends.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I'm not going to spend too much time discussing the semantics of Christmas, but hopefully you're enjoying yours. It's been an interesting 2020. I honestly can't wait for Christmas Eve. A New Year's Eve. We're going to do a New Year's Eve show next week and usher ourselves into the new year. We got a plethora of content planned for 2021. It's going to be interesting. Very
I'm excited.
But anyway, so it is Christmas. My name is Morgan Colby. I got Rick Lemon with me as always.
What's up?
And I just wanted to ask you one simple question to start off the show before we jump into telling you to follow us. Is what gift do you want from your fantasy team this year besides a championship? Like one player, which player do you want to go off?
Oh,
which player do you want to give you that gift of a championship victory?
I would have said Juju, but I literally, after the week that he had, I've benched him in every league, so it doesn't matter. I'm trying to think if I have I have a player in 2 of my championship leagues, 2 of my 3. It's Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, 50 points this week. Please.
50 points.
He did it once.
Yeah. That's like you get to Monday Night Football and the Chiefs are playing and you're like, he did it once before. He can do it again. You're down by like 48.
Yeah.
He gets 47 and a half.
Yeah, I know, right? He probably would. What about you?
Yeah. So for me, I have to go with my guy. He's been my guy since the 2019 NFL draft.
Oh, Miles Sanders.
David Montgomery.
Oh.
Come on.
Well, either one.
Come on.
To be honest.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if it's Miles Sanders and he gets 35,
you're going to be lit.
I'm gonna literally sit there and ruin the team that wins in our home league. And just say if I outscore everyone in the league this week,
oh man,
I'm gonna ruin their championship victory.
Hey, one of your biggest trash talking rivals might win the championship. How would you feel if that happened in the home league?
My arch nemesis, my arch rival, he's been replaced. Was exited last week, so
okay,
I'm good.
Who was that? Oh,
I'm good.
I know who it was.
Yes.
So you don't care if that person wins?
David, he's not going to win. Oh.
The person.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a 50-50 shot, so I don't know. I didn't even look at the numbers this week. But anyway, I want a big game from David Montgomery. That's my guy. I need it. And Miles Sanders. If I get a big game from Miles Sanders.
I would love Montgomery.
I'm asking too much.
I have him in our listener league championship week, so.
David Montgomery?
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, I love Monty. So that's what I have. Hopefully you get what you want this weekend. I love Week 16 championships, not only because you don't have to worry about Week 17, but because it happens like right on Christmas. I had like a New Year's Eve moment when we were doing Week 17 championships. And I had New Year's Eve where they just ripped out my soul. And I lost on New Year's Eve. And I had to sit there and stay up till midnight staring at a wall. And everyone was like celebrating New Year, yay! And I was like,
it's like a depressed like indie movie where you're like everything's going on around you, and you're just sitting down staring at the wall, and sad music's playing in the background.
I've talked about this before. I had AJ Green, and AJ Green is all I needed was a touchdown, and the Bengals were losing badly, and I thought trash time. So there was one play he was wide open down the field. I don't even know who the quarterback was. Probably Andy Dalton.
I think it was Andy.
And throws it down the field right through his hands, and I watched it in slow motion. He caught it, I would have won. Yep. It was like a 60-yard catch.
Yep,
I would have won the week and the fantasy championship, and I got janked.
And you did. That was it.
Anyway,
why you bring up these horrible memories for Christmas?
Because I don't have any good memories. I don't have any good memories from fantasy football.
That's so incredibly sad. You did before you met me.
That is true. I won I had like 7 leagues a year, and I won every single one of them. And I met him, and for some reason, it's just been
because it's the commissioner curse. It's the commissioner curse.
It is. Every league that I was a commissioner, and I lost.
Yeah. Do you want to get to the news?
Yes. Let's get to the news. Before we do that, check out our website, fantasychampions.com. Follow us on Twitter at the FF Champs, on Instagram at the Fantasy Champions. Like us at facebook.com/the Fantasy Champions. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe, click the bell for notifications, like and comment down below. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any other podcasting platforms, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with your friends. I'm asking you politely for the gift of the subscription this Christmas.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
You're sitting by your fireplace right now on Christmas. You're drinking spiked apple. What is it that people drink? Eggnog.
Eggnog, bro.
Eggnog. I said it like I was like a
apple
foreigner.
Cider, eggnog, hot chocolate, whatever you want.
So, whatever you're drinking,
yep.
Take a sip of that, and then hit the subscribe button on every single platform you can find that we're on, and that would be enough for us this Christmas.
It would. It really would. I'd be lit.
It would be lit.
It would be lit.
If I am almost 30, so is saying lit out of my vocabulary yet?
It should be, but it's not. It should be out of mine, but it's not.
I was because this is pre-recorded. I was shopping for my wife today. And I called her on the phone and we were talking. I was singing some kind of "Don't Judge Me." I'm not gonna say what song I was singing, but the song had "Shoddy" in it. It's one of those 2000s.
Shoddy, like
yeah. It wasn't that song though.
Okay.
So my wife was like, "What does shoddy mean?"
Oh man.
I was like, "What?" She's like, "What does shoddy mean?" I'm like, "It's how it's." And then I sat there and I'm like, "I know what this means, but why can't I answer it?" So I was like, usually that's like how in music. I don't even know how to describe it. I really don't.
You're old, man.
I'm really old. I'm like, yeah, but I grew up with this music, so I know.
You should, yeah.
I know what they. So I told her, I'm like, look it up on Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
And the definition was like a fine woman.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So that's how I described it to her initially, and she was like, "That's not what it means." And I was like, "Yeah, no, that's what they use it for." I mean, they don't literally say in the song "a fine woman." They use it in reference to women that they think are fine.
Dude, you sound so old.
It's really seriously.
Oh, you're talking about the word shoddy instead of fantasy football,
dude. Is that still a word? Because I also said at that point, I was like, do people still use that in songs? I don't think they should, because I feel like that's so lame.
It is kind of lame.
It's kind of a lame
but
phrase.
I've heard it in songs recently. So
now they just say what they're gonna do outright.
But now it's
if you listen to like Little Pump.
Well, I don't know why you would listen to Little Pump.
You judging people that listen to Little Pump?
No. You can listen to Little Pump all you want.
Half
it's
our
just not
league
my cup of
listens
tea.
to Little Pump.
I know.
Anyway, so there's my story of the day. Christmas shopping has me. I'm a little extra crazy lately, but
yeah, I mean that's what the Christmas season does to you.
Yeah, tomorrow, as in Saturday, I'm gonna sleep the frick in and listen to Christmas music and watch football.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that is dope.
Whatever. So let's talk about the news. The first piece of news we have, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport said Derek Carr suffered a significant groin injury Thursday night. He faces a 2-week recovery timeline. He did practice in a limited capacity on Tuesday. Raiders are trying to make the playoffs.
I think they're done.
They're probably cooked, but
after they lost to the Chargers, they're done. They're pretty much
Mariota had a good game. They lost to the Chargers.
They did.
Holy crap! I just looked at fantasy points. I didn't even see them.
You didn't even look at the.
I didn't even.
Bro, I watched the whole game. Such a finish. Come
on. Yeah, I went to bed at halftime.
Yeah, I feel like you always do every primetime game.
I'm literally an elder.
You are.
As I continue this podcast, I realize I don't even have kids, so that's even the worst part about it.
Dude, once you get kids, you're gonna be in bed by like 7 o'clock every night.
That's true. So yeah, I don't know. The reports from Ian Rappaport are that Derek Carr won't play this week, but then John Gruden's playing games with our heart. And he's saying that Derek Carr might play. If you have Marcus Mariota questions, I don't know.
He's an okay stream because he can run, and I think he got 26
bad.
points.
I just don't know. I don't know if he's going to play or not.
I wouldn't rely on it.
So you just keep an eye on the injury reports. We'll see what happens. Saints placed Michael Thomas on injured reserve today, officially ending his season. So you don't have to play games anymore.
The first round this year: Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Zeke, Michael Thomas.
Is it? It's expected though. I didn't feel like there was a lot of injuries because most of my teams that I drafted, I didn't get a lot of injuries with, which is surprising, except for the listener league.
Of course.
But anyway, so the interesting thing is that as you say that, it's expected because 90% of these players came into training camps late because of COVID. They didn't have a preseason. So like what we expected to happen with injuries and with COVID happened. And we've made it all the way to week 16 without the whole season being shut down.
That's good.
And so a lot of these first round picks that Rick was just mentioning, as expected, probably missed some time.
Yeah.
So this was a year where we're going to be really confused breaking down this whole season because backups are going to have like Tony Pollard.
Yep.
Does Zeke leave? Is Tony Pollard an option? Does he become with Dak Prescott? Does Tony Pollard become a top 10 running back?
It's an off-season debatable topic. It's a good headline.
We're here for the whole offseason to talk about Tony Pollard about 60 times.
Especially you.
Yeah, especially me. Any Cowboys running back, to be honest with you. Ian Rappaport also reported that the Falcons wide receiver Julio Jones has no plans to be shut down for the 2020 season.
They said that about McCaffrey.
Ask any. I know these guys are literally going to come in and play 3 snaps in like week 17, and then it'll be over.
Or they're just not going to play, and they're just telling the media this.
I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
I feel like this is Julio saying this, but I'm gonna go on a limb and say the Falcons are probably gonna say no go. Why would they keep playing? Unless Cutter wants who's the coach? Raheem Morris. Unless he wants the job.
Yeah, I don't know. No clue.
Yeah, but he didn't practice Wednesday, so that's not an encouraging sign for this week. If you have him going into a fantasy championship game. If he does not play this week, we talked about Russell Gage being an option on the waiver wire. Hopefully you were smart enough to pick him up and play him and replace him.
He had a good week
of Julio Jones. Ian Rappaport also reported, because he's doing all the reporting this week, I guess, the Chiefs are hopeful Clyde will return to the divisional round after he suffered an ankle injury in week 15. So Clyde is done. If you drafted, to be honest with you, if you used a first-round pick to draft Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you probably didn't make the fantasy championships. I'm going to take a wild guess.
I don't know. Probably not. Probably not.
It doesn't feel good.
It's a shame because I love Clyde.
That's for certain.
And his regular season is over now, so we can actually evaluate his rookie season as well. There's a lot of people down on him on Twitter, and I'm even a little down on him, but like people on Twitter are insane, and they're ranking him as like the rookie running back 7 for next year. It's like out of the rookies this year.
Yeah.
So like they have him as like the RB like 20 something. I'm like, wow. Okay,
that's ridiculous.
Let's relax. I actually do like Clyde next year because I think he's gonna be a good value. You can get him in like the 3rd, 4th round.
He kind of didn't play. He played slightly better than Damian Williams. That was what the expectation was.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping he'd play it a little bit better.
Everyone thought he was going to be top 5 running back, but I think there were podcast episodes where I mentioned that he wasn't going to get as much passing work as people said.
Yes, and you were 100%. You hit the nail on the head with that one.
Because
I thought he was going to get a little more passing work than he did.
Towards the end, I was starting to feel like he might get the passing work, but it's just that's not how their offense works. Not even Kareem.
And then
Hunt
when Le'Veon Bell
catches.
Got there too, it kind of ruined his chances of being an RB1.
Yeah, it was like fluctuating. So. Yeah. We have a whole offseason to analyze Clyde, but what's the next couple pieces of news?
Ben Roethlisberger intends to play for the Steelers in 2021. Good luck with that, Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Either way, even if Big Ben...
More quarterback options for the Patriots.
I know, I love that. Well, so here's my thing, though. Even if Big Ben plays in 2021, I think the Steelers should still draft a quarterback or get like Dwayne Haskins or Jameis Winston, like somebody who can play in 2021 or... 2022 to take over for Big Ben. So
fair enough.
I still think they need a quarterback. Eagles head coach Doug Peterson said Jalen Hurts will start in week 16 against the Cowboys. I'd hope so. The way he's been playing.
Yeah, Doug Peterson is like I've lost all respect for that man.
I have too. I thought when the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, I was like, okay, he's you have to be a good coach to do that. But this year, man, he has been one of the worst coaches in football, in my opinion. Yeah. I don't know if it's just an awful year or this is his true colors.
I don't trust a word that Doug Peterson says anymore. So next the coach speak is true. Next year when I listen to Doug Peterson, I'm not going to believe a second of it.
Right.
Garbage can and a half.
Yeah. So Bills coach Sean McDermott said early reports on Stephon Diggs' ankle. They don't seem very worrisome, so that's good news for Diggs owners. I think he'll be fine.
I didn't even know he got hurt.
Yeah, he did. It was just a small ankle, though. Like, he seemed fine. Just, like, was a little limpy. Some people thought he might have sprained his ankle, which would have been a legit concern. The Texans interviewed Jim Caldwell for its head coaching vacancies. So
that's such a horrible decision. Sorry, I'm pulling
was Jim
my
Caldwell
wallet out of my pocket.
I'm trying to think. Who is the coach? Whatever. I'm not even gonna bother. But he you said that's a horrible decision. Why? Why is that?
I don't think he's a good coach.
Yeah.
He's a good defensive coordinator. I believe he's a defensive coordinator, correct?
Yes, I think he is. Jim Caldwell is like such a, like, he's been around the NFL. Yeah. It is a very, yeah, exactly. It's a blab pick. But you know the thing with Caldwell,
you know what else was a blab pick? Adam Gase.
Well, Adam Gase was just, I don't even think he was that, because people thought he could, like, he was an offense coordinator. He's young. You know, oh, is this Sean McVay? No, it's Adam Gase. What I will say about Caldwell, his last head coaching job with the Lions, he wasn't bad. He was like 9-7, 8-8, and then they went to Matt Patricia, and they all of a sudden were like 5-11. So I do think he deserves a second chance somewhere. Yeah. But it is a very blech choice. I will say that.
Yeah, they need something that's not. They just came out from Bill O'Brien, who is already a boring coach,
right?
And now they're getting Jim Caldwell, who's a
like if Houston hires Jim Caldwell next year, they don't have their first round pick, which is going to be a top 5 pick. That's going to Miami, or a top 10 pick at least. Do you think Houston is really any better next year?
No,
I think they're once again a 5-11 type 6-10 football team.
I don't know. I think they can win like 8 or 9 games. They have Deshaun Watson. I just don't.
So that's the only. But their defense is one of the worst in the league.
Yeah,
they have no running game. It's literally just Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean.
Is he also? He's a defensive minded coach, correct?
I believe so. I already got rid of him, but yeah, I think
that's right. Don't worry about it. So the Falcons interim head coach Raheem Mostert said Ito Smith is the lead runner. We talked about this earlier this week. Yep. Which is kind of sad for Todd Gurley people. I got some tweets on Twitter that was like, "Well, what do I do with Todd Gurley in Dynasty?"
Yeah,
I don't know, dude.
I wish.
Good luck. I don't have him in a single league.
I wish I tweeted this out at the time or said something. I own Todd Gurley in 2 dynasty leagues, and I looked at he was coming off the bye in week 8 or 9, and I looked at his schedule, and it was all on Sleeper. It was all dark red.
Yeah.
And I was looking at his stats. I'm like, he really isn't that good. He's only good because he's playing good matchups. He's scoring touchdowns. So I traded him away in both leagues for like Cooper Kupp and for one of them, and then another one it was like draft picks. Wow. And I'm so glad I did that, because since I traded him, Gurley has been getting under 5 points every week. And I wish I tweeted out like, you got to sell Todd Gurley right now in Dynasty.
Cam Akers, Sean McVay. Wow. I just said names. Coach Sean McVay said Cam Akers will miss at least week 16 against the Seahawks of the high ankle sprain. So he's done for his fantasy season unless you play week 17.
Yep.
Dwayne Haskins apologized. This is a couple interesting notes on Dwayne Haskins. There's 2 strip club incidents this week.
Yeah, I know.
But Dwayne Haskins apologized on social media for showing a video that showed him maskless in a strip club breaking COVID-19 protocols. Haskins also took first team reps this week on Wednesday's practice, I believe. So he might start this week because Alex Smith is out, correct?
Alex Smith is out, yeah.
Okay. Lions interim coach Darrell Bevell does not expect Matt Stafford to be shut down this season with, I guess, rib injuries.
Good. I'm fancy.
49ers running back Raheem Mostert was placed on injured reserve with left ankle sprain. Left high ankle sprain, and his season is over.
Yep. Jeff Wilson. Drawing up those Jeff Wilson shares.
I mean, if you want.
He gets like 10 points. He's nothing special.
49ers coach Kyle Shanahan also believes that George Kittle has a chance to return for Sunday's game against the Cardinals. Did they have a chance?
49ers?
Yeah.
I think they did, but because they've lost, I think they're out.
Okay. Keenan Allen was held out of Tuesday's practice. Hunter Henry was held out of Tuesday's practice. Mike Gesicki was limited in practice. So keep an eye on Keenan Allen and his hamstring situation. If you have Hunter Henry, I don't know why he was held out of practice, but just keep an eye on that going into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Just go back and check those practice reports and see where those guys are.
Yep.
I think we have a lot more practice reports. But anyway, Tampa Bay Times reports that Ronald Jones expected to miss Week 16 against the Lions. We talked about that yesterday.
Yep.
Start Leonard Fournette.
Did you skip the Mike Gesicki thing?
Did I? No, I didn't. I said he was limited in
Okay.
practice as well, but I didn't reference it as like an important point. Kenny Galladay once again remains sidelined at practice.
Did you change this the notes at all?
No, I didn't. I just left.
okay.
I at the beginning of the season, I put Kenny Galladay missing practice in at some point in this, and I just swapped it around.
We literally said this last week to just leave it in the rest of the season, and look at that.
It's back again.
Yeah.
Maybe Galladay will play. Maybe he won't.
Maybe we'll see him practice one more time for this sometime this season. Maybe not. Probably not.
If he's not, but it's hopefully if that one practice leads to play.
True.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
True.
If he doesn't practice, if he doesn't practice by Wednesday,
he's not playing. He's not
playing
playing
again.
again.
The season's over for fantasy
yes,
football.
he's not playing again.
The 49ers signed Josh Rosen. I texted Rick right away, and I said he's going to score. He's going to get 350 yards and 2 touchdowns this week, isn't he?
I hope so. I'd be so lit if Josh Rosen did that. I after they signed him, I went back because I told you again I didn't sleep last night at all, so I had a lot of time on my hands. I watched Josh Rosen film from when he was on the Dolphins.
Yeah,
he didn't look great, but he actually looked better than people give him credit for. He looked decent. There was a game against Dallas where the offensive line was brutal. He was getting hit on every play, and they had 6 drops. Give him Kyle Shanahan and give him the 40. We'll see.
Deebo Samuel didn't practice. I'm pretty sure he's not going to play this week. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. Wow, I just said his name out of habit, and I don't know who this guy is, but he reported Josh Gordon failed. He's reinstated, and he failed the terms of his reinstatement.
He had what I read was he had a setback on his addiction problem, which literally just means
he got toasted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Josh Gordon, poor guy.
I know.
He's one of the saddest stories in the NFL because he had such a bright career and he only plays good when he's high. So that's,
yeah.
I feel like that's probably a terrible joke, but it's kind of true. He had some of his best years when he was just zoinks in the locker room. Yeah. Jaguars coach Doug Marrone wouldn't name his starting quarterback for Week 16, and
interesting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Gardner Minshew. You know what? I think the team
they're trying to lose.
I think the team is the Jets lost. What?
Yeah,
put the other guy back in. I mean, yes.
You get Trevor Lawrence.
Lose as hard as you can. Maybe the Jets will win another game. Maybe they'll beat the Pats because we sucked that bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Jaguars. They also said that James Robinson is going to miss all practice this week.
That's
because they're going to rest him. He had an ankle problem, not really an injury, but a problem.
Yeah,
I guess a problem is better than an injury. I don't
Real
know.
quick, do you like James Robinson next year if they get Trevor Lawrence?
No. Well, yes, of course I do. Well, it depends on what they do at the running back position.
What if they go with pretty much the same roster they have now?
Then
but
yes, I like James Robinson. But I've told you that I have a feeling that it's not that I don't like James Robinson. I do.
You just have a feeling.
I just have a feeling they're just going to bring in another running back and ruin him. So that's what'll happen. It also depends on if they keep Doug Marrone. But Marrone is known for workhorse running back roles.
True.
And so if they keep him there, I think if Robinson, it doesn't matter who they bring in. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, don't do Leonard Fournette because of Chris Thompson." Good luck with that. Fantasy people are stupid sometimes. Because James Robinson literally took over that job, and when Chris Thompson came back in, it was
barely get. Yeah, he'll get 2 targets in the carry.
Yeah. So anyway, Zeke was limited to practice on Wednesday. They said he's on track to play Week 16 against the Eagles. So Tony Pollard. Philip Lindsay didn't practice. He's been up and down.
Melvin Gordon shares up. He actually hasn't been, out of all the.
No, I mean, I don't mean production wise. I just mean he's been up and down on the injury report.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Philip Lindsay or Melvin Gordon?
Lindsay?
Yeah.
And Melvin Gordon's not been good either.
He hasn't been good, but out of the 3rd round running backs, the old guys like James Conner.
Yeah.
Remember Fournette, Le'Veon Bell, and Melvin Gordon. He's probably been the best one of those guys.
Yeah, probably. This is why you don't draft the older running backs in the 3rd round.
Yep. Hey, super early mock draft.
Do it again.
But I saw the list of the 3rd round guys because somebody tweeted it, and it was very juicy. That's all I'm going to say.
It won't stay that way.
Yeah, no, it won't stay that way.
The Bengals head coach Zach Taylor ruled out Joe Mixon for Week 16 against the Texans.
He's another guy. It's like
he's probably not
he's
going to
done.
play.
He's done for the year.
Yeah,
I dropped him in our home league.
Christian McCaffrey did not practice Wednesday. Panthers head coach said he's probably not going to play.
Man,
there's a person in our league midway through the season, I think it was week 6 or 7 when McCaffrey was about to get back, and they did a trade, Dalvin Cook for McCaffrey. Both of them came back the same exact week. Both of them had 30 points. But in that same game, McCaffrey got hurt again.
Yep.
And it was probably his worst trade of the whole season. Should have kept Dalvin Cook.
Probably
Probably
made the playoffs.
Daniel Jones practiced Wednesday, hamstring injury,
sign.
so that's a good sign for him. And then Myles Gaskin practiced Wednesday
Another good
as
sign.
well. So that's a good sign for him. Hopefully he gets to play. Any other news that you have?
I think that's about it.
Okay, there you go. Fantasy champ. That's the last you hear from us until next week. We'll break down week 16 and everything that happened. Hopefully somebody won championships.
Yeah.
And then we'll do week 17 content because, hey, why not? Help you out. So we'll talk to you Tuesday, Fantasy Champs.
Later.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Champions Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and YouTube and follow us on Twitter @TheFFChamps.